Hello everybody. I have some feelings about the Keychron K11 Pro, and I want to share my experience with you. First of all, this is a great board. It's very well made. I always have a high appreciation of Keychron boards. I like the quality of the boards, and this one is no exception. It's really made well. They did a great job. Let's get into it real quick. I've already done an unboxing video, so I'm not going to spend too much time going through it, but I do want to show you what's in here real quick. Obviously, you've got the board. It comes with a USB-A to USB-C cable. It is braided. You also have some spare keycaps. There is a red enter key and a red escape key. Also a black escape key and a black enter key, and then some alternate keycaps for Windows or Mac. And then you also have a keycap and a switch puller that comes with this set. This board is hot-swappable, which means you can take off the keycaps and the switches. So you could do different keycaps or different switches with this K11 Pro, right? So for instance, you could take off the H here, and then we could take off the switch here. And then if I wanted to put in a red switch or a blue switch or a 1 switch or a 2 switch, I could then switch out that, and I could have a different kind of board. I could also swap these keycaps out for different keycaps. For example, there's the Newfie keycaps. They make a great low profile keycap set as well. So these keycaps would fit on this keyboard without a problem. They would not fit on the K7 keyboard because I've talked about this in previous videos. For some reason, when they made their first set of low profile boards, they did it so that the stabilizers are a little offset from the actual switch. So if I hold this up a little bit, you should be able to see on your own there that these stabilizers are just a little bit offset, and these are straight across right here. So I can use standard keycaps with the K11 Pro that I wouldn't be able to use with the K7. I'm trying to put that on the wrong keyboard. You can tell it's just not working. There we go. Put that on there. Put that on here. As you can tell, we've got a split Alice, or I've been corrected with the Arisu layout. I've learned that the Alice layout technically doesn't have the arrow cluster. So when it includes the arrow cluster, this is called the Arisu layout. So just some food for thought there. I do like the ergonomics of the layout here. I like having the split keyboard here. It's just a little bit more comfortable for me to type. I have learned when I had the Q11 keyboard before I bought the K11, and with the Q11 there's only one B, and I was often going for the B with this hand, but the B was on this side of the keyboard. So I like that the B is on both sides. The main problem that I have with this keyboard is that I hit the space bar with my left thumb, and a lot of the times I hit this function button, and that's not the space bar. You can see that there's a little bit of shine right here. That little bit of shine is right there on the edge of the space bar, and that's where I'm going for it. And if I'm sometimes hitting it, sometimes hitting both, and sometimes only hitting that, and that's just not working out for me. I want to try to find the right split style keyboard that fits my typing style, and not adjust my typing style to fit the keyboard that I find. So for that reason, I'm going to get rid of this one. I'm going to sell it. It's going to go on eBay and join a couple other keyboards that I need to get rid of. We have a strict rule in the house now where one in, one out. So I can't get another keyboard until I get rid of another keyboard. And there's no point in me keeping keyboards that I'm not using. So I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to send it off to somebody on eBay, hopefully in the next week. I also got the travel pouch with this keyboard. I never really needed to use it, so it's still in the box here, but I thought that this was going to be my favorite travel keyboard. It just hasn't replaced my K7. This is my favorite travel keyboard. I love this thing. So this is the one that I take to work. This is the one that's in my bag when I'm going out and spending some time with something other than just my computer. So I use that for the most part. This keyboard has a lot of great things to offer. The knob is great. Having a rotary knob is really, really great for just volume control alone, but you can set this up to work with video editing software, so that this could be maybe a zoom in, so you could just scrub very gently and zoom in or out, or you could use this to go across the timeline forward or backwards, just depending on how you like to set it up. This keyboard is QMK via compatible, so you can map a couple different layers of keys to your liking. Obviously, it's going to come with a layer that contains the F row, because there's no F row here, so you press function and then you're able to then access the F keys here as well as the media keys, and vice versa. But you can set up different buttons for all of these. By default, these control the RGB, and you can just use function 2 to set up another complete layer depending on what your needs are. The keycaps that it comes with are PBT, and they are really high quality, but I showed you the shining in the space bar, and that's, I guess, to be expected, but it's never a great thing to see. This will work with 3 different Bluetooth devices. You can connect them with the Q, the W, or the E. Or you can also connect it with the USB-C connection. It can be hardwired, and when it is hardwired, it's got a 1000 hertz polling rate. This will work with both Mac and Windows. It will connect up to 3 devices. Very low profile. This is not bigger than the height of a quarter. It's a great keyboard. They do a great job making low profile keyboards, and I think Keychron does that really well. And the regular profile keyboards are really well made. This keyboard is not the right one for me. I did find this one on Etsy. I think this is a gorgeous keyboard. And I really like where the space bar is. Check out where the space bar is on the left-hand side. That's my space bar. And if I could have a space bar over there and that gorgeous wood, that's just something really special. I am going to leave you with a typing test at the end. I've already recorded that, and I'm going to share that with you after I finish recording all of this. But I am going to bid this K11 Pro farewell. I did have a good time with it for the month. It works great. I don't have bad things to say about it. It's just not the right keyboard for me. So we're going to send it on its way. If you know anybody who'd be interested in purchasing this keyboard, they can search for it on eBay in the next couple of days and find it. I know there's going to be at least 3 people that watch this recording live. So, Dad, if you're out there, if you want to let people know they can find this keyboard on eBay, I'm going to start the bidding at the price I paid for it. And I'm just going to include the case that I bought because I want to give people a little bit of a deal. So, feel free to check that out. Thanks for your time. I appreciate you stopping by as always. Let me know if you have any questions. If you'd like to argue with me about my opinions here and how I feel about this keyboard, I welcome the arguments. But any other comments or questions are also welcome. Have a great day, and thanks again, guys.